Hello, I'm Vicki Leroux with Modern Jewelry Creators. Thank you for joining me for this video. I am so excited to share with you some new pendant necklace designs that I have created. And so I'm going to share with you some different techniques you can use and variations on those. And hopefully you can use this as some inspo so you can create your very own as well. If we are just meeting though, again, my name is Vicki Leroux. I have been in this industry for coming on 3 decades now with my shop, the Bead Factory. And now through this channel and our website, I'm able to share all of our jewelry making techniques and tips and ideas and products and everything through this channel with everybody. So I hope you'll consider subscribing if you love making jewelry and be a part of our community. Okay, so pendant necklaces. I just sent out an email to our members saying Happy New Year. It's the January of 2022, and but also stating that, like, instead of jumping right into the next holiday, which would be Valentine's, so for Valentine's Day inspired jewelry, I thought let's just have a collective break maybe from we just came off the holidays. So maybe we just need a little break from holiday purposed jewelry. And that's where I love pendant necklaces, because they can be so elegant and so chic, but still kind of laid back and casual. And they can be as easy and as simple or as dressed up as you want them to be. So I'm going to show you some variations here, and then show the individual pieces that I used, and I'll have all those linked below if you want. And then, like I said, then I'll share some of the techniques used as well. So I can put timestamps in the description, if you don't want to just hear me ramble or see all the little bits and pieces. But let's go through some designs first. So the first one I'm going to show is one I'm wearing. And the first two I'm going to share we have available as kits as well. We always do. So if you don't have like similar materials, you just want to be able to create the exact same one I'm showing you, I will link the kits below as well. But if you have similar materials, then like I said, you'll be able to make something similar yourself. Okay, so here she is in gold too. So I just love using like leather cord as the base, because it kind of has this cool hip vibe behind it. And then we used our satin components, which I think are very kind of sophisticated, and then a bunch of little pretty sparkly crystals in the center to give it some little sparkles. So I don't know, it's like a effortless glam, that I think it's laid back but still really, really pretty. And I'm gonna tip the camera down when I show techniques and stuff too, so you'll be able to see them a little closer up. But here she is in the gold that I think is just so pretty. And let me show you the silver one. You can wear this piece long or short. It doesn't matter. I've done a clasp on the back so that you can adjust the length. And then, like I said, I use that thick leather cord to create kind of a really pretty bail at the top that kind of anchors and secures all the crystals so they stay kind of nestled like a little crystal corsage. But it also anchors the crystal and the metal components together. And by creating this kind of large knot or leather bail, if you will, I think it's a nice transition from the pendant to the cord. And I'll be showing you, how I did that too, coming up as soon as we go through the designs. And so this little one, both these kits are only $24. But like I mentioned, we have the little components available individually, and the leather cord also available by the yard too. And so lots of options. Okay, let me show you some of the little bits and pieces, right? So I started with the, you know, this wide satin component. I just love her. And it has a little like single hole in it so that you could, you know, add a jump ring and dangle off the bottom. This could be the bottom. But you can easily tie or anchor, you know, anything directly to it as well. And then I just combined, there's our little 24 millimeter satin ring, and then there's a 14 millimeter one. So I combined the rounds, but you could, you know, do any shape. It works for any shape. Okay, let me show the next one. And so she's similar but different. This is our Elegant Impact kit, and I combined the hammered components in this large round and that oval, and then instead of a bunch of little crystals, I just used one large kind of etched crystal in the center here. And again, I did really fancy kind of knot bail, the transition to the cord. And in this one, I used 2 different colors and sizes of leather cord. You can kind of see I used a bronze and a black that I think is really, really pretty. And again, you can do this one long or short. I think it's probably better, you know, shorter, because it's kind of a larger, you know, piece. But it's just, I think, just stunning on. And, you know, pretty simple to do. These lovely components make it really easy. So here's our, you know, hammered component in silver, and there's an oval, the little oval one that I used. So you can combine any of them, and then you're anchoring the leather cord to it. And then the last kind of pendant necklace I want to show you, and though I have an earring to share too, I put on our chain. We have several new little sparkly chains that I wanted to use, but we have this beautiful little kind of a scrolled leaf pendant, and so I used these lovely little different chains and then made a little chain dangle. Now I'm gonna do a whole separate video making this piece completely, each step of it. It's really easy, it doesn't take long, but I didn't want to put it in this video so it wasn't too terribly, you know, long. So, whoops. But I will share the pretty leaf component. Isn't that gorgeous? All right, so this could just as easily be off a leather cord too, or you can do a lot of different chains and things as well. Okay, and I'm going to tip the camera down in just a second to go through a couple techniques. So when we're attaching the leather cord to any of these components, I probably most commonly use what's called a half hitch knot that I'm sure you're really familiar with, where we're taking, you know, a cord. There's kind of a small piece. And let me take that wide ring again, where I'm literally just folding it in half, the cord in half, and here's the folded side. I'm taking the tails and putting the tails through the folded side, right, and bringing it down. Boop. Half hitch. Done. Attached. End of story. Right? And that could be your whole thing. If this was a little longer, you could just tie it in the back and call it a day. But I like dressing it up a little bit with the knots and other elements. But this is another, you know, piece I made, and I just did the half hitch on this one with the 2 cords. So, and that's really pretty too. Leather, I love leather. It's very malleable and pliable and manipulates really easily. And so while it may seem like it's kind of curled here and there, once you wear it a couple times, it really molds beautifully to your neck or wrist or whatever. And so it really then starts to lay easily and lovely. I love working with it. Okie doke. I should probably keep this off here, sorry, so you can see the knot. So I'm going to tip the camera down and walk you through these. So the leather cord that we sell, though you can find leather cord anywhere. We carry 3 different thicknesses or sizes, 2 millimeter, 1.5, and a 1 millimeter. And the 1 millimeter, the thinnest one, I'll use that if I'm going to put beads on the cord, right? Because obviously your bead needs a large enough hole if it's going to fit on a thicker cording like that. But the way we're using them now for just, is the necklace. I don't really have beads on them, so it's not as big of a deal. But I'm going to tip the camera down. Let's go for a ride. We're very low tech around here. Sorry. Okay. Boop, 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 boop. I'm going to show you these. Okie doke. So, sorry, let me tip that just a little bit. Okie doke. So I wanted to show the 3 sizes of cord. And I love them in a metallic. This is a kind of a silver metallic. Here's a bronze in the middle size, and here's that 2 millimeter, that thicker one. So you can use, any size. And I'm going to create this little kind of bail here that I think is really, really pretty. So what I showed before is a little half hitch on the component, right? So all I'm really going to do here is I'm going to make a knot. I'm going to take both pieces of cord and I want to keep them together and make a knot with tails, right? There's one knot. Looks like a lot of cord, but it's one knot. Then I make another knot going the same direction, right? So that's what 2 knots looks like. When I have 2 knots, I'm going to pull this up here just to get an idea. See how it's looking like a little figure 8? That's what we want it to look like. But we want it to happen down closer to the pendant. So I'm going to scoot this knot down a little bit so that it goes where it should. Whoopsie. And this is what I mean where leather's very malleable, where you can kind of fold it and push it into place. So once I've got it down there, I'm going to kind of use even my fingers, my fingernails to kind of push this into a pretty little knot, really, into a kind of fat knot. And you can move the cord around, as you need to. Sometimes I'll take the plier and I'll pull one out to shape it a little bit, and you could just keep playing with it until you've got a nice, balanced looking little knot on the top. Everyone see that pretty? So we could have left it as a half hitch. Would have been fine, maybe a little loose, but I think this is prettier and really easy, to do. Whatever side you wanted to use is fine. And I think that's just a lovely way to do it. Now on the ends, especially for a shorter piece, when we want to add a clasp, we need to use these little crimps on the end because there's no loop here, right? So these little metal crimps allow us to put a loop on the end. And I have an entire video on the channel already dedicated to that, so I'm not going to walk through all of it in this video, but they look just like that. And depending on what size you need, this cord is the 1.5, so kind of the medium size, and so I would put it in the smaller one. But if I were using the 2 millimeter or 2 cords, I would use the bigger one. Now you have to use a crimping plier to do this, right? There you go. Right, that has the 2 little ovals. It looks like a little set of lips. So normally when you're doing this, I'll do it real quick. You're going to line this up in the crimping plier. The little crimp is right in the top station. I'm trying to see how to turn it. So it's upside down right now, but it's in the top station. You'll see it that way. Top station, open side up, loop facing out. I'm going to slide that baby right in there. There's no way you're going to be able to, normally, this one fits really well, but especially with chain. If you're putting this in the end of chain, you've got to put this in the plier first and then put the material in. But once it's in there, you just give it a nice squeeze. No glue, nothing like that. These go on to leather beautifully. You know, it's maybe a little trickier with chain and that. You can trim that up. You need to, I've got a little sticking out a little far. But it works the same way with chain. And it just is a nice way, very clean way for you to now have a loop on the end, and now we can attach a jump ring and a clasp and the whole thing, and that gives you a lot of options for length, and it just also, I think it looks nicer, and I think it looks more professional. Okay, up we go. Go a little bit of a ride. Oh, 15 minutes, not so bad. Excellent. Okay, so the last thing I was going to show you, the cute little earrings I made, even though this is a pendant video. I always try to make samples of, sorry, got a bunch of jewelry here, using any of our new components. We have some of the ones I've already showed you are new, but I also got a little oval component in that is just textured instead of hammered. So it's just a little different than the satin ones, and that oval that I think is really pretty. And if you followed if you're a member or followed our channel or anything, I'm not a big fan of matchy earrings. I think earring needs to work with the necklace, but not match it necessarily. So I wanted to just do a simple little earring. So there's the textured oval, and then I just did one of the little etched crystals inside, and I made this one with a little smoky gray one, and that one with the crystal AB. But just simple and lovely. But I went ahead and did this little earring as a kit too on our website. Earrings like $15, but very easy to just get the individual materials or to use something you already have and do a little dangle on the inside. Okay, and I think that's everything for this one. I'm going to do a full video for the leather necklace the leaf necklace that I showed you, that I'll walk through that step by step. Really simple, but still there are some specific techniques if you're trying to get a look kind of like this. So that is it for this video. Thank you so much for joining me. Please remember to like the video if you're still here. If you liked it, it helps the algorithm, and I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers this year in 2022. Please leave a comment to say hello. I always appreciate that. And until next time, sparkle brightly like the star that you are. Mwah. Peace.